Good evening, everyone. I hope you all are doing great. My name is Arpita Bhatt, and I'm a core team member at DSC GLB ITM. I extend my welcome to everyone on the behalf of my team at the third session of our ongoing event, that is Android Study Jams. As in our last session, we have already discussed about the track 1 of Android Study Jams, that is new to programming track. So today we are going to talk about track 2 of our Android study jams, that is Android Kotlin Fundamentals. Today we'll cover unit 1, which comprises of building 5 different Android apps with the Kotlin programming language, creating multiple layouts, and adding user interactivity to our Android apps, defining navigation paths and starting an external activity, handling complex life cycle situations, and ad logging. There are 5 earnable badges for this unit, which you can get only once after you are done up with that particular pathway, including quizzes. First 3 pathways are same as already discussed in the track 1. So today we'll discuss about the pathways 4 and 5. Before proceeding further, let me show you some of the glimpses of pathway first, second and third. This is a pathway 1 where we discussed already about our first app. Second, it is a pathway 3 where we have done our interactive app, and at the last we are having our pathway third. Here we have learned about the different layouts. So finally today we are going to learn about the pathway 4 and 5. Let's get started. Thank you. Now I'd like to hand over to the facilitator of this event. Vartul will now let you explain everything in details. Stay tuned.
So, hey everyone, my name is Vartul Bhogna and I'm your Android Study Jam facilitator and a DSC core team member in application development. So, here in session 3, we're going to start with our track 2 of our Android Study Jam. So, as you can see in track 2, it's divided into two parts. One is our main course, wherein all our pathways and wherein we have all our pathways, and the second one is the Kotlin cones. So it is a complementary part. Let's see what's the Kotlin course. It is a curriculum designed by Google for you all. If you want to learn more about Kotlin, you can try this. And if you think that you have a nice grip on Kotlin, you can skip this Kotlin cones as it's complementary. You can see here we have conventions about collections. So if you want to learn more about Kotlin, you can try out this Kotlin cones. So for this session, we'll be skipping the Kotlin course as complimentary and it's for you all to try. Let's start with the course. So here we can see that our course is divided into two units and each unit consists of 5 pathways. So we will be covering the unit 1. We will not be not covering, but we will go into the unit 1. So here in Unit 1, let's explore the first pathway, that's build your first app. So it just contains two code labs, that is installing Android Studios and getting started with it. So this is something that we have done already in the first track, but I tell you that you should do this quiz in order to earn your badge. Now let's move on to our second pathway, that's building an interactive app. Okay, so building an interactive, it contains 3 code labs that we have already done, not done, but we have covered these topics like anatomy of the basic Android projects, image resources, and the compatibility. And there is something extra that's learn to help yourself. So here we have covered, they have covered actually something that how you can read the documentations on GitHub and how can you clone those projects and start with those projects. So also here you have to do this quiz in order to on the batch. Now in the third pathway, that's about the layouts. Let's see. So herein you can see it covers about using linear layouts and with layout editor, some adding some user interactivity and constraint layouts editor and using data binding. So this is also some topics that we have covered in our first track, and here also you have to take this quiz in order to earn the batches. So make sure you do these 3 labs on your own because it contains the topics that we have already covered. So now we will taking a deep dive in the fourth pathway, that's navigation. So let's get into this. So here we can see that we have 3 code labs to complete. Before starting the code lab, let me show you that what's inside that app. So here's an app. The app name is Android Trivia. Here in the toolbar, we have these 3 horizontal lines that we call a drawer. When you click on the drawer, some 2 options are there about the rules and the about menu. Let's close this drawer for now. Let me show you these rules. When you click on the rules of the game appears, and then we click the back button. And here also we have some option menu. That's just have one options that shows about, and that's about the app, what's built of. And here we have a play button. So this app consists, so when you click the play button, a game starts, and the game consists of 3 questions, 3 simple questions. If we click on the wrong question, the activity, this fragment, sorry, the fragment appears. That's a try again fragment. When we click on the try again button, uh, we are redirected to the questions. Again, let me give a wrong answer. Submit. But when you click the back button, we are redirected to this fragment. That is the title, Android Trivia. Okay, so let's get into this code lab. So here in first code lab, it's just some introduction, and that's the app overview that I just gave you. And let's explore the starter app. So for this code lab, you have to download an Android Kotlin, some files from the GitHub, or you can see the Android file from the GitHub. We'll be downloading all these projects. So click on code and download zip file. And if you know about Git or GitHub, you can also clone it using this URL. Okay, so now we have downloaded our files or the zip folder that we want. Let's open it. So here is our zip folder. So as you know that we have to extract the zip folders. Extract all. Okay, I will like to save it here itself. Just rename the folder. Extract. Now it will take some time to extract all the files. So what this GitHub repo consists of, these are some of the Android projects. But what we'll do, we're just using this Android Trivia starter project. Rest all projects we don't want. So what Google have done, it have already given us the project. We just need to add some navigations, like the navigation that we were doing in this. Like the when I click on the play button. Okay, let me just reconnect it from. Okay, like when I press this back button, it goes to this title page, and when I press the play button, it displays me some questions. When I click the submit button, if the answer is correct, it takes me to the next question. Else, if the answer is wrong, uh, it brings this game over fragment to us. And when we click on the try again, it gets us back to the game. So all these is happening by the navigation. So we need to set those navigations. So what Google have done, it have already given us the project that we'll be building. We just need to add some navigations in it. So let's see. Okay, our files are being extracted. Extracting. Okay. So now, as you can see, these are the files. So let's start our Android Studio. Uh, Open an existing. Now we have extracted these in E folder, E drive. at Android Kotlin fundamentals, and here we will starting with Android trivia starter. Press OK. Okay, so our app is, so here is our project. As you can see that Gradle is building our project. So let's wait for Gradle to build a project. So here you can, for some of us, this error will be occurring. This is due to the mismatch versions in the Gradle. For those who have, for those that, for those who for whom this error is not occurring, you can skip few seconds. But for those whose error are occurring, just go to File and then Project Structure. Just change this Gradle plugin version to 4.0.1 and the Gradle version to 6.1.1 and press OK, and then Android Studio will automatically rebuild our project. Let's wait till the build is completed. It will take some time. Okay, so our build was successful, and here now we can start with our project. Let's minimize this. So on the app, go to Java. Okay, so here we have our project. Let's close this readme and let's get back to our code lab. Okay, so this was our first code lab. So here we have set up our project, and you can go to the project. It's given over here. So okay, now in this here we will be this shows some that how to add a fragment. So before adding a fragment, let me give you a brief intro about what's fragment. So if you're be using WhatsApp, you will see that whenever you click on chat, the list of the users you're chatting with will appear. But as you click on the status, all the status will appear in a list view. And also when you click on the calls, all the calls, all your call log will appear over here. But what you can see that your toolbar and this chat status and calls option, they won't disappear. So how it happens is like there's an activity, and here in activity we have a fragment in it. So fragment, as the name suggests, it's a part of something. So fragment is like a part of the activity. You can fit fragment everywhere, or you can say these are like the functions, like we call our functions to optimize a code. So similarly, we can rather using same fragments again, and you can say same layouts again and again. We can embed those layouts in a fragment, and then we can call the fragment over there rather than switching the activities that will take more space and time. So getting back to the code lab, to create the fragment, click on File, New Fragment, or you can do what you can do just right click on the package, New, and then Fragment, and we'll be creating a blank fragment. So the fragment name and all would be uh, for the fragment. Yeah, here's the fragment name, title fragment. And like the activity, the fragment will also be having some layout. So the layout file name would be placeholder underscore layout. So this layout file we won't be requiring, as the layout file is already given to us with this project. We'll be deleting it later. Now let's just follow the code lab. So here it says that we need to delete first all our code in on create view that is generated while creating the fragment. Here we have a on create view. Just delete this return statement. So here an error will occur. For now, just let us ignore that error. And also we need to delete all the methods that are in this title fragment class. So let's delete everything. first this on create method, these variables, the companion object method. Okay, so now we can follow the code lab. So now we have to inflate the layout that we'll be using. So the fragment title layout, we'll be using this fragment title layout with this. That's already over here. Fragment title layout. We'll be using this layout. So let's just inflate this layout into this fragment. And how we can do, just copy this code and paste it over here on create view. It's bad. Okay, let's just import these classes. Okay, these packages are already imported. So here you can see we have a val binding. So binding, I told you in earlier sessions that binding, what binding does is it's just bind all your views together, and then you can use your views using this binding variable dot followed by the ID that you gave to your views. Okay, now let's move on with this code lab. So here in the title fragment layout, so open the fragment title layout. In the code part, we have to add the we have to first delete everything, and then we have to add this fragment attribute. I'm sorry, in activity main. Here we have to first, let's delete this comment, and here we will be adding the fragment. So let's just take copy all code from here. Okay, so now as you all know that activity main is the first layout that appears when you start your app, and as you can follow the layout that it have a linear layout as a view group, and then inside this linear layout we have a fragment. So what this fragment will be, like if we want to display the title, this will the title fragment will be displayed, and then when you click on this play button, then these questions layout, these question fragments will be displayed. So what will it do, that it will remove the title fragment and will bring the question fragment instead of that. Okay, so now let's follow with the code. Okay, we can run our app now. Let's run our app. I'm running it on emulator. So it will take some time. Okay, here you can follow for the code solution. That's a summary and a bit of homework from the code lab. Now let's move on to the next code lab. Okay, so here we have the output of our app that we just made. That's just the title screen. Nothing will happen if you press the play button, and also we don't have any draw and backward option button over here. So all those we will be coding in our app. So now let's move on to the next code lab. So here's some introduction, the app overview, and now we will be adding the navigation components to our project. So what's actually are the navigation components? These components tells about that how the navigation of our app will be, or describes how our navigation in our app will go on. Like in this app, okay, let me reconnect it. View. So you can see here we have the submit button. So submit button, if the answer is wrong, it is taking us to try again. The try again will take us to here the questions, and that back will take us to the title. So how this all will happen, that we can either describe by the intents. With intents, this all becomes very complicated. So what Android have built, Android team have built some navigation components that makes it really easy for us. So for using navigation, first we need to add some dependencies. So let's get back to a project, and here in Gradle scripts over here, open this project level build.gradle file, and here in build script in the ex in the ext we will be adding some code that's here navigation version. Let's copy this and paste, and also the build.project the build.gradle of your app level. Scroll down to these dependencies and we'll be adding some dependencies. Here are the dependencies for navigation components. So now that we have added some dependencies for using navigation components, let's sync our project. Okay, this will download these dependencies from internet. So make sure that you have an active internet connection. So moving on, now we have to create a navigation resource file. So let's create this. Okay, so let's create a navigation graph. This graph will contain all the information that how we'll be navigating through our fragments. Go to resource, then right click, new, and then Android resource file. And then for resource type, select navigation, and the file name will be, let's just copy it from here. The file name is navigation itself. Okay, Trovi, uh, okay. So it's just syncing this file. Let's get to the design part, and here you can see nothing, but we have an error, so we will just resolve as we go on with the lab. So now toward moving on, here we need to create a navigation host. So what this navigation host will do is actually it will contain all the information that how navigation in your app will be going on. That when you press the back button, then you have to go back to the title fragment. When you give all three answers correct, then the when fragment will be appearing. So all this navigation will be looked after by this navigation host fragment. So let's add this. So the fragment attribute that we have added in our activity main XML file, let's make some changes in that. It's our activity main. So here in let's see what we have to add. Okay, let's just copy it from here. So okay, so here we have changed the ID. We have added a name for this fragment, and then for the nav graph. Since we will be using a nav graph, a graph that will be telling about the navigations, so we need to specify which navigation graph we'll be using. So we have created, so we have added the navigation graph that we just created, and default navigation host. Yes, we will be also having a navigation host. So this value is set to true. Now let's move back to our code lab. Okay, now adding fragments to our navigation graph. So in this graph, we need to add the navigation, or we need to add, sorry, we need to add the fragments, since we need to show the navigation between the fragments. So we need some fragments. So in your Android Studios, go to the navigation XML that we just created, and then you will see this icon over on the top left. Just click on this. Okay, now this will contain all the fragments or the activities that our project is having. So what are all the fragments that we need to select? First one is fragment title. Let's select this. So here you can see in our graph we have this fragment title. Moving back to our code lab. Okay, now let's see the code. Okay, this tools attribute already set for us. For some, if you cannot see what's in your fragment, then you need to set this tools layout. It's also mentioned in the code lab here. Okay, now let's add some more fragments. The next fragment that we'll be adding is the game fragment. Get back to the design and then create new destination, add the destination, and here we have the game fragment. The preview is unavailable because of this missing tools attribute. So let's see what we need to add. Okay, the name of the fragment. Just add it. Let's add it manually. Layout uh, fragment game. Okay, and now we can see it over here. Yes, we have a game fragment here. So what happens that when we press this play button, we want ourselves to be navigated to this game fragment. So how to do this? Click on this first title fragment, then you will see this small blue dot, and then just connect this dot to the fragment to which we want to navigate. Uh, Now we can see that we have an action. We have an action attribute. That action attribute specifies that we will be navigating from this to this. Let's see further what we need to do. Okay, so now we will be setting up a set on click listener. So when the play button is pressed, only then we have to navigate. So we need to write code for that also. So in your title fragment.kt, just copy this code, and inside the on create view before the return statement, we need to add this code. Title fragment.kt, here after the binding variable, we'll be adding this on listener, and then inside this on listener, inside the on listener, just copy this code, this much only. This view also. Okay, so what we have, let's import this. So what we have over here, that we have a function that's set on listener. It have an parameter that's view, and this view will calling the find nav controller, and this nav controller will help us navigate uh, to navigate from the title to the question fragment. Okay, now let's follow our code lab. These are some import that we need to do, but Android should have already done for us. Now, when we run our app again, uh, okay, so now when we run our app again, we'll be able to navigate with that play button. Let's move on with our code till our app runs. Okay, so here we'll be adding some conditional navigation. So what are conditional navigations is like when you give a wrong answer. So what this app does, that it shows you a fragment that you lose, and when you give all the correct answers, then the win attribute win at sorry attribute win fragment will be appearing. So that's a condition that if you win, the win fragment, and if you lose, the lose fragment is to be appeared. So we'll be adding the coding for that. So let just first add those fragments in our navigation.xml file. Uh, con- okay, this is game over fragment. Let's select this, place it over anywhere you want. I'm placing it here so that it's easy for us to uh, see that how's the navigation going on. And then game one fragment. So here we'll be having a condition. If we give a wrong answer, navigate to the game over fragment, and if all answer correct, navigate to the congratulations fragment. Okay, so we have added everything up to it. Now let's get to step two. That's connecting fragments. Okay, we have connected this, and now let's add the coding or the if else conditions. So these if else conditions are already written for us. We just need to code them. So here it is in game fragment.kt. Let's get back project app Java and this game fragment. So if you scroll down here, you will find these are the conditions. Here we have to write the code. We have one code for that when you win and the code when you lose or the game is over. So let's see. Here you can see this is the code for the win, that when you win, this win fragment will appear. So here you can see again this the view variable that we have that is defined over here. So the view variable is used for calling the view parameter is used for calling this find nav controller, and that is that we are using to navigate to the win fragment. And now let's add coding for the lose. Okay, now we have added coding the if else condition of the if else condition. Now let's follow with our code lab. Okay, it's telling us to run our app again. First, let's see our. Okay, so here you can see that when we press the play button, the questions are appearing, but nothing is happening with submit button. So let's just rerun, and then the submit button will also be working because we have added here the coding for that. Okay, till our app is running. Let's see now. Now, when you will be pressing the back button, it will be directing you to the questions. But what it should do, that it should direct you to the title of the game. So let's add coding for our back button also. Okay, so following with the code lab, let's open our Android Studio. Okay, our app is okay. So here our app is running. Let's click on play button. Uh, let's give all answers correct this time. Submit. What are the base class? Submit. So here you can see then when you have given all correct answers, the win fragment is appearing and nothing is happening with the next one. But when you click on the black back button, it's redirecting you to the questions. But what it should do, that it should redirect you to this Android trivia or the title of a app. So now we'll be adding the code for that itself for that. So let's move on to navigation.xml. So before starting to code, let me introduce something with the stack. So whenever you run an activity, we give an example. This WhatsApp example itself. So here in WhatsApp, when you click on the settings, this setting activity appears on the on your screen. So what happens? This setting activity, it actually all the activities of the fragments go on with a stack type of with a stack data structure. Like the bottom will be the home activity, then the second activity that you call, and from second activity, if you go to some other activity or some third activity, the third activity will be on the top of the stack. So when you press the back button, the third activity will be popped off and you will be directed to the second activity. And when you press the back button from second activity, you will be directed back to your first activity or the home activity. So here when you click on the settings and then you click on this account settings, so the account activity appears, or you can say it's the same thing goes on with the fragment also. So, and then when you click on the back button, you can see the account activity or the fragment we'll be using. It will be popped off, and you will get directed back to the settings activity that was just below this. So, to control all these, we are having this pop behavior. So just click on this action or this arrow that are telling the navigation, and then you will find this pop behavior attribute. So here the pop2, what pop2 will do, that it will then when you press the back button, it will pop everything and you will land upon the fragment that you have defined here. Like if I press on game fragment, so when I press the back button, I will be landing on this pop up to. And here you can also see that we have a pop up to inclusive. That means if I set this to true or false, if I set it to true, then this game fragment will also be popped off. uh, so rather than landing on this game fragment also be popped off, and the fragment below this game fragment, I will be on that fragment. But if I just a second, yeah, but if I set it to false, so what will happen? This game fragment will not be popped off. Rather, I will be landing on this game fragment itself. But what will happen if I write title fragment over here and set it to true? So when I'm on this try again or this congratulation fragment, and I press the back button, uh, let me check it to false, true. So when I press the back button, so what will it will do, it will also pop up this title fragment and my app will stop running. So it will just close my app if I write the first fragment in pop-up 2 uh, and check this true, the pop-up 2 inclusive. So now let's follow with the code lab. So here they have described the pop-up 2 and pop-up 2 inclusive in details. You can read all these 4 points. So here what we have to do in this select the we have to set this game fragment and the pop-up 2 inclusive uh, in which action, let us see. Okay, okay. So here for this, try again, be the game fragment and the it to also true, pop-up to inclusive true, and then in the game one fragment, set it to, let's just click on the action of game one fragment, and set it to true. So now, as you can see the condition, if I press back button when I'm on this game one fragment, it will redirect me to this. It will just pop off this game one fragment also because it's set to true, and it will redirect me to this game fragment. But if I press back button when I'm in this game over fragment, it will pop up this game fragment also, this fragment, as it the pop up to inclusive is true, and it will redirect me to this title fragment. Now let's move on to the second step. Okay, now let us add actions for this. uh, Sorry, over here and over here. And here the action for action, uh, we have to set the title fragment for the back action of this game over. Set it to title fragment, pop inclusive, just leave it blank. Okay, and for the action of this game one fragment, it will also do title fragment. Okay, now we'll be adding some code for the game over dot. Now we'll be adding some code for these buttons. Uh, for this try again and this next match button. So let's see what we have to do. In our game over dot kt, at the end of the on create view, before return, we have to add this code. Let's get to game over dot kt. Okay, over here we have to add. So here, as you can see, we have added a set on click listener for the try again button, and what it will do, it will navigate us to the to the given fragment that we have set over here in the navigation.xml file. And sorry, and also we have to, for the next match, if the user win, then there's a next match button. We have to add coding for that also, so that we have to write in game1.fragment, game1fragment.kt. And also go here, let's import the packages. Okay, now let's move on. Okay, it's telling us to rerun our app. Just rerun your app to see if everything is working fine. So till our app is running, let's move on with the code lab. So in this so here we will be adding a up button, up button, that is this back button. So most of the Android app you see, we have a back button also to move back to the fragments. So here we'll be coding this only. So in the main.kt, main activity.kt, let's add this code that's given here. Main activity. After this binding, import the packages, and this also. So here, what's happening, that we have created a variable for this nav controller, wherein for this nav controller or the fragment host, the we have created this navigation XML, and then we'll be using that. We'll be using the nav. We will using that up button, that's the back button on the top left, to navigate back in our app. And also here it is asking us to add this function also, add this method. So as you can see here is a keyword override. So we are overriding this on support navigate up button, that will be used for navigation. Okay, now when we run, first let's see that we have built earlier. So play button, submit on create view. That's the answer. Okay, so here we have given all correct answers, and now when we click on next match, uh, we have been redirected to these questions fragment, where we have all our questions. And when I give the wrong answer, trying again will also take us to that questions, since we have coded like that. But when I click this back button, now you can see I'm getting back to this title fragment. So it seems that our code is working fine. Now let's just rerun to see if that back button is appearing or not. Okay, till the time our app is being running, let's see what we have to do next. Okay, so now we'll be adding an option menu. The option menu is something that on top right of some apps you have seen these three dots. three dots that displays the options to you, that what all the options are there in this app. So before starting coding for that, let's get back to the navigation.xml and add that option menu fragment also. Mm, not action menu, the fragment about. Okay, so what the option menu will be having is just one option, that is about, and it will, and when you click on that about, we'll be redirected to this fragment that will be telling about our app. Okay, now let's move on with the code lab. Okay, the fragment ID is about fragment. Okay, now setting option menu resource. So for this option menu, you need to add a resource file that's of menu type. So let's right click on this resource file, new Android resource file, and the resource type is of menu, since we will be creating a menu that when you click on these three dots, let me show you. Let me reconnect my device. Okay, so this is the something option menu that when you click on this, some option will be displayed, but we have only one option, that's about. When you click on this about, the about fragment will be appearing. So here we are just coding for this menu itself. So for this menu, you have to create a resource file, and the type will be menu, and the file name will be, let's see, the file name is option menu, and then click on OK. Okay, so here's some description about everything that will be appearing. Mm, okay, now we have to add the items. So as you all know that menu contains the items. So this about, in this menu we'll be just having one item. So click on this palette and drag the menu item under the menu in a component tree, or you can also drag it on this app preview. So here you can see we have got a first item. Now we need to set the title and ID for this. So let's see what are the title and ID. So menu ID is about fragment, and here in the title, it's, you can see it's at the rate string. It is already written in a string folder. Let's copy and paste this over here. Okay, so here we have our about written over here. Now let's get back to our code lab, and now we need to add some code for this menu. So in our title fragment, just add this set has option menu true to tell the fragment that we have a option menu also. Click on this, and over here above the return statement, now we need to override some methods, that one of them is on create option menu, where we'll be inflating our menu. Click import some packages. So here you can see that we have overridden this function, and it, here we are just inflating the layout that we just created for the menu in this menu folder, this option menu file. And now let's override this on option item selected, and import it also. Okay, so here you can see, and if we run our app and we click on this about button, we'll be redirected to this about fragment. So now let's rerun our app. Okay, till the time our app is running, let's move on. And now we'll be adding a drawer. So what a drawer is, okay, here so what a drawer is, like this, top three horizontal lines on top left, and this will open some fragment like this. You can say it's a drawer itself. Okay, our app is ready to run. Just click on the play button, and here you can see we have the back button. Okay, sorry, uh, okay, I was connected to my phone. Let me connect to my emulator to see the changes, and now rerun this. Okay, so drawer, as I was telling you, drawers are those three horizontal lines where we can where we can have more options for our app. So let's add coding for that also. So drawer is something that is provided to you by the material components library of Android. So first, we need to add the material component library. Let's add these dependencies. Go back to your build.gradle of app level, and here you can add these dependencies and then sync the project. Okay, till time our app files are syncing, let's add some fragments in our navigation host. So we need to add the fragment rules.xml navigation fragment rules. Okay, so we have this rules fragment, and now we need to connect these with our drawer. Let's see how to do this. So we need to create another menu for our drawer, that, as you know, that in our drawer everything was appearing in a menu. So let's create another menu resource file. Right click, new Android resource file. The resource type is menu, and the name would be nav drawer underscore menu. Click on OK. So here we'll be having two items, that the rules and the about. So it will just having two options, the rules and the about options. So here just add two menu options in the component tree, and then for the first one, title and ID would be ID's rules fragment, and the title is string rules. Also, you can see these have some icons also. So let's add some icon so that our menu item looks beautiful. And in the second, for the second item, the ID is about fragment, title string about, and the icon is over here at Red Royal about Android trivia. Okay, so we have our menu items ready for our drawer. Now we just need to add these in our drawer. So how you can do that? First, we need to add a drawer in our activity main.xml, and for that, first let's get back to this. And for that, we need to club everything, all this linear layout inside the tag. That is this Android drawer layout dot widget drawer layout. So let's just copy this code from here. That's the opening tag, and it has the linear layout inside this. And now we have to also close this tag. Let's copy this and paste it after linear layout. So now you can see that we have a drawer layout. Inside that we have a linear layout. So we have now added the drawer in our title page or in our title fragment. Now let's add the menu in our drawer. So this tag will be added after this linear layout. And as you can see, it have ID, layout width, height, and gravity. The header of the layout is layout nav header, and the menu, you can see the menu we just created, that was nav drawer menu, that's over here. So that's why we were creating the menu. Now let's add some code for this drawer. So code, you can see we have to add it in main activity on create. Do this by this. Okay, so in our main activity, uh, in our on create function, we need to add this for our draw. So here the code we have added is just for that what all will be having the, when we click on the item menus, menu items in our drawer, that when we click on the about, then what will the what fragment it have to display, and when you click on the root, then what we have to display. So all that we have already written in the navigation, and now we are just using it from here. So also for drawer, let's add a variable that will be adding on top of a class. Just import this draw layout, and this layer, the variable we'll be using later. Let's add some more code in our on create. Okay, okay, it's already written here. Okay, so the variable that we have created over here, we have initialized this here as we have written the late in it, that we'll be initializing it later, and we have initialized with the binding dot draw layout. We have connected with the draw layout, the here that we have, and now we have reference to our draw layout also. Now add some more code, add the draw layout as the third parameter. In our navigation UI, the setup action bar, we need to add a third parameter. uh, Over which one? Okay, in the first one. Now we need to add some code for this back button also. We need to change some code in the back button, passing the navigation controller. Let's just copy it like from here. Okay, so we're here, you can see that we are just returning our draw layout. That was just one parameter we need to add, and something we need to import that Android Studio have already done for us. And now when we rerun our app, the drawer will be, we will see a drawer also. So first let's run the app that we have created. As you can see that we have added the option menu, and when you click on this about, the about fragment will be appearing. We have a back button also. Let's click on the rerun. Okay, it will take some time. Okay, for now, let's just see. We have the solution code, the summary of everything that we did, learn more, some homework from the code lab, and this next step. So okay, so this completes our code lab of here itself. And now let's see our app. Okay, it's taking time. So here we have our app running, and as you can see that the drawer we have added, we got it over here, and this drawer contains some menu items, and these are the items of a menu that are rules and about, and also the icons we are added. You can see them over here, and when you click on rules, it takes us to the rule fragments, the fragment rules, and when you click on about, you're on the about fragment. And also we have this option menu over here, and that have only one items, that's about. So when you click on the about, you are back to the about fragment. So now we have completed our second code lab also. Let's click on done. Now let's start with the third code lab. That's about adding some external activity. So in this code lab, what we'll be doing is we'll be passing some data from one argument, so from one fragment to the other. Like when we are on the question fragments, when we are answering the questions, suppose the user answer all three questions correctly. So you need to pass some. So you want to pass some data on that win fragment that yeah, user passed all the questions correctly, and then you want to display that in a toast. Toast is like a small string or small sentences that appears for short period of time at the bottom. Okay, so if we were using intents for switching between the activities or the fragments, we would have used the bundle for passing data. But since we are using the navigation component, we will using the SafeArcs plugin that comes with the navigation component. So what this Save Arc plugin is like, when you pass data from bundles. So in the bundle, like you're on fragment A and you want to pass something to fragment B. So you will bundle up the data like name, which is a type of string, and in the name key you pass a value like Anika. So this both key and value will be passed to the fragment B, and in the fragment B we will be also having a variable that is name, and that name's value will automatically be equal to Anika. But here we have two problems that are type mismatch errors and missing key errors. Like suppose we pass something string, and on the receiving end, like in B fragment, we are expecting some integer. So that would be a type mismatch error, as we are passing a string and we are expecting an integer. But this won't throw any error while compile time, because defaultly the compiler will add the zero, will take the value as zero for that integer, and there won't be any type mismatch, sorry, there won't be any compilation error, but there would be a logical error, as what you want that code to be, the code won't be able to do that. So to overcome this, we have something Arc plugin, Safe Arcs plugin. Also, the missing key errors were that you use some value key in the B that is never passed from A. Like you use something instead of favorite weather, you used something like favorite number. So there won't be uh, anything wrong in that. But the what compiler will do, it will just add a null value to it, and then also there won't be any compilation error, but there will be some logical errors, and your app won't be able to perform that what you want to do with that app. So to overcome these two errors, what navigation component provide us with the safe arcs. So to use these safe arcs, we need to first add some dependencies and plugins. So just copy these dependencies, go to your app, and in your Gradle scripts, just open the project level build.gradle and add these classifiers over here in dependencies. And then open this app level build.gradle and add these plugins from here. Okay, so now we are all set. Before syncing, just notice that this generated Java folder, we only have three packages. Okay, so now sync your project, and then you will notice that you have one extra package that's been generated by the safe arc. So the classes in that generated then in that extra package will be used by the safe arcs to transfer data from one fragment to other another. So like here you can see that's the package that's been generated by the navigation safe arcs, and as you can see we have our same fragments, we have all the fragments from here. Just the difference is that we have a directions and the fragment arcs, the directions leading their name. So now we'll be using this generated game fragment directions to pass the data. So just add this code into the game fragment in onCreate view, in that if no, not in the if else, game fragment, the onCreate view, over here, yes, in the if else. Just copy this and we'll be editing it over here. And copy this also. Now we'll be using this class to show the fragments. And also if you want to pass some data, you just need to add that uh, in these arguments over here. So here you can see that I'm encountering some errors, but these errors won't be coming in your code, because I have earlier tried adding some arguments, but then when I was removing them, I haven't removed them properly. So now let's follow the code lab and add those arguments. So here, as you can see, just navigate to this navigation.xml. Go to this navigation.xml. Click on design view, and then click on the congratulation this fragment to add some arguments. Click on add, and then the name of the arguments will be this num question and num correct, and this will be of type integer. So let's add them. Add num correct, add. Okay, so now we have added the arguments. These arguments will be sent from this game fragment and will be passed on to this game one fragment, and then this game one fragment will display us the number of questions and the number of correct answers, that number of questions that we have correctly answered, and the total number of questions in the toast or some string sort of thing that will be appear for some time in this spot here in bottom. So also let us just pass those arguments from here. So how we do that? By just writing these arguments name in here. No, Okay, so here you can see that my error is gone. And next, we'll be adding the toast, or we'll be first receiving the arguments using this args. Then we'll be adding this toast using this toast class, toast.make method. And then we'll be using the num correct, that will be correct number of questions, and this number of questions, the num questions. Then the third parameter, we'll be passing the length of the toast, that will be toast.long, and then toast.show function. So let's add this code. And this code we have to write in, type in game one fragment over here on in this on create view, just above the return statement. Okay, now here, now we have to add some more functions, the or we have to edit this set on click listener also of the play button we had in game fragment. Okay, let's find where we need to, in the title, sorry, in the title fragments in on create view, title fragment on create view. Yeah, we have here. Over here we will be accepting the arguments from this class that was generated, and same changes we need to sorry the same changes we need to make with the other buttons also, that was the try again button when we lose, and the next match button when we win. So try again button was in game over activity, we need to add it over here. And the next match button was in the next match button was in game one fragment over here. So now, after adding this code, all the arguments that will be passing between the fragments will be going through this safe args. So we have just added this functionality of safe args by doing all such things, but we will just add passing the data between the question fragment and the game one fragment. So now let's just run this app. Okay, till the time it's running, let's continue with our code lab. So here now we'll be adding using some implicit intents. So what are implicit, not implicit, so what are implicit intents? When we are passing data between, when you are passing data in the same app, then we use implicit intents to pass those data. Like here in WhatsApp, you just you are in the first you were in your profile, then you went up to settings. So suppose you want to pass data between these activities or between the fragments. So the passing the activity between those fragments that of the same app will be counted as the implicit intents, and passing the data from an to another app, like you want to share something from WhatsApp to Telegram. So you what you'll be using, you will using the explicit intent. So similarly here, we'll be using explicit intents to pass data to another apps, that is if you want to share our, if you want to share our score or share some message that we have won this game. So what we'll be doing, that in the game one fragment, we'll be adding the share button on the top right, and then the share button will display the options through which we can share our information, like through Gmail or the messages or all the apps that are used to share the information, that will be automatically listed in this list or in this pop-up type of thing. So before starting, let's check our app. Okay, let's click the play button. Give all correct answers. View group of Victor Robert. Okay, submit. So her toast is not visible. Let's just see where it's. Okay, so the error was that I ran my app on this my physical device, not on the emulator. So now I just restarted my app in the emulator. Now let's play it again. All of these to create a vector rival nav controller. Submit. And here you can see that we are having a toast that's a number of correct questions, number of correct answer and the questions. And now the toast was, so as you can see, the toast disappeared with time. So okay, we are going good with our core lab. So now let's pass some, now let's start with this intent. Okay, so for intent, first we need to add the set has option menu to true in the game one fragment act.kt. Let's go to game one fragment over here. Okay, and now we need to call an implicit intent. So now let's just add this function, or we need to add few functions. Uh, Share success, and this another function. And we need to override this function also. So here you can see that we are creating some sort of list by adding these functions or by overriding these functions. So the list will be of all the apps that will be displayed in the pop-up when you click on the share button. So these were all just for that. And this the start activity will start the intent. Like if you click on the Gmail, so it will start the Gmail. You click on the WhatsApp, it will start the WhatsApp. The app that you will be choosing, it will just start that app. So now we have added all the required functions and the code. Okay, so now we when we restart it, so let's just restart our app. Okay, let's go further with our code lab. So here's the solution code, the summary of what we have learned. Learn more, some homework from the code labs. And here we are done with this code lab and this pathway also. Let's click on done button. And now if you have a small quiz to attempt, then after attempting that quiz, you will get the badge of this code lab also on your Google Developers profile. Okay, so our app is ready and yeah, it's on our emulator now. So here we have our app. Let's give all answer correctly. Few grow these. Here we have our toast and this share button also. Now pressing this share button, you can see that we have the list of all the apps through which we could share our data. Yeah, it requires some permission. Okay, to send the Gmail, it requires some permission. You can ignore it. But yeah, here you can see that we have the list, all the apps through which we can send data. So I'm sorry. So here in emulator, I have not installed any apps. So there are just 4 apps over here through which we can share our data. So here we completed our app, the game app, and also our pathway. So attempt this quiz And also, I want to tell you that some a new thing, that's how can you build the APK of your app. Like if you want to publish your app on Google Play Store, you want to share it with your friends. So you need to generate a .apk file of this app. So to generate that, click on build option over here, and then build bundle slash apks and build apks. So this will generate a apk file, and you can share that file through WhatsApp or through drives. And also when we'll be generating the form for your progress, you need to share a few apks if you can, through that form, so that we can check your apps also. And you also, this .apk file, you can publish it on the Google Play Store. So here you can see that the build is completed, and then just click on this locate to locate where APK has been generated. So here our APK is generated in the folder in which we were creating our app. Then in build, outputs, APK, debug, and that's the .apk file. You can share it through WhatsApp or anything else, Google Drive also, and you can share with your friends what you have built. So thank you. This was all for this session.
Thank you, Vatul. This was all for today. Hope you guys found this session really helpful. For more details about this program, a FAQ doc has been already shared with you all. In case of any doubts or questions, you may ask it in our official WhatsApp group. Stay tuned. Have a great evening.